Thank you. Run the roll, please.
Hill,
Yes.
Hermson,
Yes.
Schweitzer,
Yes.
Engen,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Collins.
Yes.
Need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Engen, second by Hill. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, public comment. First on the list is Leonard Hunter.
Hi, I'm Butch Hunter, and I own property at 1607 First Street West. And concerning this trail that they've got proposed, I've got the signatures of the property owners out there that are against it, which is about 95%. I'll pass them around. And then I'll pass these around. And as we go through this, if you got a question or something, just give me a shout and I'll give you my best answer.
One short. Here.
We got it. We got it.
Okay, as far as I'm concerned, one of the biggest concerns out there is for the children. And would you want your child walking within 3 foot of a major road? Knowing children like I do, there's a good chance the children will be running, jumping, and playing around with friends and end up getting in the roadway. Now, there's a lot of big trucks that go back and forth on that road. And if a child jumped out in front of them, they wouldn't be able to stop in time. They'd probably hit the kid. And I feel that this is just an accident waiting to happen. I know I wouldn't want my grandchildren walking that stretch of road. In fact, the school put up a chain link fence down there so the kids couldn't get out in the road. And another problem is with young kids walking that stretch of road, it'd be awful easy for some pervert to grab one of the children, and we could end up with another deal like that Evansdale kidnapping. I don't think the council has thought about all the problems that they will run into with this idea. Now, there's a lot of light poles and guide wires they're gonna have to move. There's curb stops. Everybody know what a curb stop is? It's a water shut-off. And those will be right directly under the sidewalk. We've got business signs out there that are gonna be in the way. And the driveway, we're gonna have problems with that because I have a lot of semis coming in and out of there. And they're car carriers. And they're only about a foot off the ground. So they're low clearance. And if you put a sidewalk in there, when the truck pulls in, they're gonna probably break up that trail anyway and do damage to their trucks. We got all these road signs out there. There's the speed limits, and hell, there must be 25 different signs out there. And then where the trail's gonna go, I've got sewer pipes right underneath there. And you all know, if you got a sewer problem, you're gonna have to dig up a lot of stuff. And then one of my big concerns is the snow removal. The snow plows are gonna come along and they're gonna plow the snow up on the curb. And it's gonna fly over onto that 8-foot trail. Well, I understand that Parks and Rec will go ahead and plow that. But where are they gonna plow it to? You get that much snow up there and you dump it on me, I'm not gonna be very happy about it. And I think there's a law that says you don't dump on other property. And then we've got a lot of underground phone lines out there. If you go out to my driveway, you'll notice right next to one of those light poles, there's a big electrical box that's got all this telephone stuff in it. And I know a lot of times they've got to come out and do some digging and stuff on that. And then what happens if we have to dig that up for repairs? Who's gonna be responsible for that, being that's your sidewalk? Are the property owners gonna have to do that and then replace the sidewalk? All right, and the next concern is water running downhill like that. I know I get a lot of water in my building because I get some now. And when we have heavy snows and rains and the snow melts fast, with 8 foot of cement out there at the top of the ditch, the water's really gonna come in my building. And when I say a lot of water, I've had 4 or 5 inches of water in my office, which is not fun. Okay, if you put the sidewalk in, I won't be able to use my trucks to put cars on the north side of my building. Because right now, when I bring a roll back in with a vehicle on it, I turn and I head up to the curb. I've got to drop my wheels over the curb so I can get straightened up to back into my building. And let's see, go to the next page here. Okay, and if you take a look at my property out there, you'll see that I can't spare any ground out there. I've got my cars lined up there, and say my front row, you've got to have so much room to get in there, and then I've got the back row, and if a customer comes in and wants to go for a test drive, you got to have plenty of room, because some of them you kind of wonder about their driving skills. Okay, and then another question here. If you put that trail in out there and you get bikes and skateboards out there, you know they're gonna have an accident. And what happens if one of them lands on my car? Who's going to pay the damages? Because chances are I'm not gonna be there when it happens. And you know darn well that kid, if he damages a car, he's gonna be hauling out of there. Any questions so far? Okay. Now, if your children or grandchildren had to walk to school, would you want them to take the shortest and safest way? Or would you want to send them the longer way and the more dangerous way? The school's got to have a sidewalk from one school to the other. And most kids are going to go down to the school and then walk up that way. If you're talking about high school kids, 90% of them have got cars. And so they're not going to use that walk out there. And most people just take their kids down to the stoplight and have them go the safe way. As a business owner, I need all the property that I can get. And I don't think it's right that someone can lower the value of somebody's property by putting a walk in like that. And when I say that, you take property away from me, and I'm gonna have a heck of a time running a business out there. Now, I pay almost $18,000 a year property tax. So I think, you know, you'd want to keep it going that way, because if I have a problem getting in and out of there and selling cars and stuff, I'm not gonna be there. As far as I'm concerned, I'd just tear the buildings down and sell the bare land. I will not give permission to use any part of my